Kia ora watu koutou, good to have you with us here as Sky Sports continues to bring you action from the NZRL Men's Premiership Round 3. And interestingly, from the Alpine Energy Stadium in Timaru for today's action, it is the Aoraki Eels up against the Southland Rams, and it's pretty good conditions there. Some heavy wind overnight, but looking forward to a clash of these two squads. Still to yet to win in the Premiership thus far, but it will be an interesting game as they play for the Waihaka Shield of 1908, when one of the very first games of Rugby League was between South Canterbury and Southland. So it's a pleasure to have you along, as it is to sit beside noted Rugby League fanatic Willie Poaching. How you doing, Willie? Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe Dale, good afternoon, and yeah, thank you very much for having us here. Excited for this one. Not a noted area, Timaru, for Rugby League as of late, but you talk about the Waihaka Shield being first contested in 1908. It shows how rich the history is in the game, and it's great that Provincial Rugby League is back and it's spreading its wings far and wide across Aotearoa. And
indeed, the growth in the kids' game, the juniors, etc., has been quite wonderful in both of these regions. Southland, of course, out of Invercargill. The Aoraki Eels, well, they were formed back in 2016 and represent 4 distinct clubs. We'll get to them as we go through the call this afternoon. Here's the lineup for the Eels, which coached by Ashley Jenkins, and there's some talent kicking around, including Nate Robinson. He's got a bit of age about him, Nate, but a lot of experience as well. Beside him is Alan Toki, who will be the vice-captain today. The front row, Lofipo, McNoy, and also Whittaker Prendeville with Somani Sot, Tailing and Clark. Let's have a listen to what Coach Ashley Jenkins had to say just a few moments ago.
Ashley, you'll be looking forward to getting the team out there today and hopefully getting your first points of the season?
Yeah, look, at training this week we had a bit of an honesty session on at Tuesday training. Our 3 pillars here that we talk about at Aoraki are effort, honesty and commitment. And we were quite honest with ourselves that we weren't living up to that. So it's really just correcting the mental side of the game rather than the physical side, where we had good moments, but the effort and honesty weren't there last week.
And could you give us a player from your starting 13 that we should keep an eye out for today?
Well, not in the starting 13 this week. He's carrying a little bit of a niggle, but Pasi Hala coming off the bench. He's one of our first Eels juniors to come through from 13s all the way through to adults. We've only been around for 10 years, so we're only just starting to get these players through. Might seem a little bit dark at the moment with some of the results, but we've got a good group of young kids coming through, and that's exciting to watch.
Ash Jenkins, the coach of the Eels, born and raised in Hawke's Bay, and moved to Temuka a couple of years ago. He's a registered nurse in Temuka. And to Geraldine, that brings us to the lineup for the Southland Rams, coached by Nate Anderson. A couple of heavy hitters as well there in 22-21, both Fijian lads. A lot of Fijian boys in there. Fiji Bati is a club represented here by the Southland Rams. That's Serulele and Koro. White is in the middle. Reti, Mode and Bradley make up the engine room today for the Rams. Kowhanunga teams up with Whaamoe and out wide, of course, Iosefa, Southland, Holly and Nicola Bellick is at the back. Let's have a listen to the thoughts of their coach, Nathan Anderson.
Well, Nathan, welcome to Fraser Park on a windy day. What can we expect from Southland today?
We're looking for a high completion rate, especially with the wind. Going into the wind, you need to have a high completion rate. And just playing for 80 minutes, we've sort of fallen off at the 50, 60 minute mark in the last couple of games.
Obviously, having Southland in the competition gives some young guys the opportunity to put their best foot forward in this sort of environment, yeah?
Yeah, it's huge for us. Sort of been building over the last couple of years, and this is just another step into building over the next couple of years and building a pretty good squad.
Well, all the best for today's.
Well, thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, so both of these teams, as we welcome them through the Turley Tunnel out into Timaru in South Canterbury. And it's just great to have this localised rugby league live on Sky. Big ups to those who bring the Premiership to life every weekend for 6 or so weeks at the back end of a season. There's been plenty of rugby league to enjoy on Sky in the last little while, and of course noting that the NRL and its coverage, its popularity is having an impact in the regions, and part of the reason we've seen the establishment of the Aoraki Eels is definitely as a result of the coverage that the NRL has been created, obviously hosted by Sky as well. So 4 teams from the Aoraki area, which include Ashburton, the Ashburton Barbarians. We've got the Chertsey Oilers, which is a little settlement just between Ashburton and Rakaya River. The Timaru Outlaws and the County Cowboys, which are really from Temuka and Geraldine. Across in Southland, of course, in Invercargill as well. Again, we've got 4 clubs, Hitoa, Cook's Rugby League, Fiji Bati, and the Cowboys. So these 2 teams are pretty evenly matched, and looking forward to them heading out here this afternoon. So the green squad, of course, the Aoraki Eels, and nice to see their sponsors' names on the back. Looking forward to this one. Hope you are too. Great to have you with us. Round 3 of the NZRL Premiership. A little bit of wind there holding the ball up, as you can see. And to tackle is called a white, as we see to play the ball on the far side of the field. Yeah, one of the features too, we touched on it in the introduction as well, Willie, is the growth in juniors. I mean, there's 800 kids down in Southland that are playing in competitions. As we see the Aoraki Eels with the football just outside the 20, ducking left, a little bit of an offload, and that's some solid D there on Whittaker. Prendeville, he gets driven back out of dummy half. McNoy. This is Lofipo. Teresa Lofipo on the 20-metre line. This is the 5th and final tackle. Into the hands of Nate Robinson, threads the needle. The bounce should end up in the hands of the wing on the far side, but he's tackled in goal. So a good start here for the Aoraki Eels.
Yeah, fantastic start. Just throwing a spanner in the works, going short straight off the kickoff. And Toroka, the centre for Aoraki, quickest to the ball, getting the possession in their hands for the Eels, and they go on the attack straight away. And a great kick from Nate Robinson, the halfback leader, the elder statesman of the side, who spent some time in the Eels system. He's going to be a big one to run the proceedings here for the Eels.
Well, locks flowing to the Eels. Appeal for a high shot. And that's the way the referee sees it as well. But a bit of attitude on the return of the football too, which is most welcome. There's Nate Robinson. Let's get another look at the charging Whittaker Prendeville. Big, solid guy, Whittaker Prendeville.
You've got to love it sometimes, these big fellas in the middle. No thought at all about putting on some footwork, just straight through the opposition.
His uncle's Canterbury legend, Jeff Whittaker, and Aaron Whittaker, of course, and the big fellas also proudly from Rekohu, the Chatham Island. As we see Aoraki really getting themselves into good position. Well, the blind pass really should have hit the mark, but it goes off the hands there of Somani Sua.
And a big sigh of relief for the Rams there. Just an unforced error from the Aoraki Eels. As you can see, McNoy get out of dummy half. And so Manisua just not able to take possession of the ball. First chance with the football in hand. We'll see what the Rams have got.
And that image, of course, displayed that the wind is well and truly behind the Rams. We see a decent run on the far side of the field. Lovely town to visit, Timaru. It's a city of around, I think, 35,000 people. The sort of big smoke, I guess, of South Canterbury. Back in the old imperial measurements, I used to remember as a kid, it's 100 miles between Timaru and Christchurch. How many Ks is that, Willie Poaching?
A lot.
Okay, well, that'll do, and there we go. Oh, there's one.
Still working clicks.
There's one for the Chatham Islands as Whittaker Prendeville gives it a go. Kia ora g'day as well to Uncle Aaron. Wonderful contributors, the Whittaker clan, to the Rugby League code across many generations as the Rams put the ball up. Decent chase from the fullback as well, Nikota Balak.
Really loving the physical start from both sides defensively. Just really willing to get numbers in and throw their bodies into their work.
So it's the Eels in possession now. Yeah, it's been up one end of the field and down to the other. Some decent work going in from Dominic Bradley. That's him in 13 for the Rams. Crossfield, Robinson. He's been around. I'll be polite to him, just say he's in his early 40s. But sometimes when you're the distributor, it's a thinking man's game. That's him with the football there. He knows when to kick. And, of course, Robinson has played for the Cook Island squad. A lot of Cook Island connections here to Timaru. I assumed he had moved there for work, but I'm told by Glenn, their manager, who was kind enough to share some information earlier in the day, that he's actually born in Timaru. And as such, got quite a number of Cook Island representatives. So here we are about to pack down another scrum, and just 30 metres out and 10 in from the far side of the posts. Lovely backdrop, the hills in the background. It's a harbour city as well, Timaru. Good old Caroline Bay and the fun that's had in a summer at the Sound Shell. Many will recall as we see the Eels with the football now. Pushing forward. Whaamoe with the tackle here for the Rams. Dummy half work. Holly out of dummy half here. Number 2 is Callis Taylor. There's a good opportunity for the Eels to draw first blood. This is Natui Saumani Sua. Good field position. McNoy left he goes with the football. Nice little play here. Back on the inside, half volley pick-up, skillfully done. And Alan Tongi, the vice captain's in to score for the Aoraki Eels. They draw first blood after 6 minutes. And a little bit of good fate for him as well. But the referee was right on the spot and saw that the pick-up half volley was slick and the try is secured.
We go back to the great kick from Robinson, really causing a lot of trouble for the Southland Rams. They couldn't clean up the ball. They get another chance to attack the line. Third chance already down this part of the field. Great pass from Alan Toki, the vice captain. Nice little short ball. And a well taken try there to open up the scoring. Wonderful line running from Te Linga, the most capped player for the Aoraki Eels. They can get their first one. And Aoraki, they lead 4-0 with the kick to come right next to the post.
And, of course, played for the Country Cowboys as well. And the Eels. Now, here's the conversion from Benji McKay from right in front. So, a 6-0 lead here for Aoraki. Of course, some great footy on Sky over the weekend. Later today, seeing Penrith lining up against Canterbury. And for the Canberra Raiders, I can't help thinking of them as I look at the Aoraki Green. Their season came with a thud down to earth exactly after being the minor premiers, dropping 2 in a row in the final series in their Gonskis. But that's footy, Willie Poaching.
That's right, and some surprising news earlier in the day yesterday that Ethan Strange had been taken ill, and he was always going to be a big loss for the Raiders. And take nothing away from the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, they were outstanding.
Yeah, the combinations there, the 6 and 7 in particular, just worked a treat last night as we see once again. I love this attitude that's coming in here from Whitaker, Prendergast, beautiful. Oh, the mid-air goosey as well. Everything's on show. Hope you enjoy the action. Round 3 of the Men's Premiership, live from Timaru this Sunday afternoon. And it's much better than mowing the lawns, fellas. Although I don't want to be sexist, I'm sure there's plenty of wahine out there who mow the lawns as well. Thoughts?
Yeah, I just think he's lost control, unfortunately. So Manusua, who's been good when he's been able to hold the ball, a couple of errors in his game already. And you see the defender rolling away, just trying to free himself. He loses grip of the ball. This is the best chance they've had in the opening stages of the game for the Southland Rams to try and post some attack to get some points.
It's a lovely shot there as you see the scrum feed here. Moioane into the hands. Mothe driving across onto the far side of the field. Of course, it's always a little bit of a lesson in Pacific linguistics as well when we call this sort of rugby league. A lot of Fijian guys in there, where the C's are pronounced as THs. I'm reliably informed. 22, Serulele Napawani. 12 metres out from the try line. Good chance for the Rams now as they go through the hands on the Kofanunga. Beautiful ball. This is looking good. It's looking deadly as. And the one, Nikola Balak, is in out wide as the Southland Rams answer the try scored against them as well. Good try in the corner by the number one.
Yeah, great try, great response. After conceding down the other end, the Southland Rams force an error. And they go straight on the attack. And great play as they go second man out to the left. And great deception from Sione Kofanunga, the vice captain for the Rams. See as he goes through the line, sees the broken defensive efforts from the Aoraki Eels. Playing out 3-on-1. Out to the fullback, Kaya Nakora Balic, to score. And he looks to convert his own try to try and equal the scores.
Yeah, nice work from the 11 as well. Mara Moretti, just a little troublesome there for the right edge defence. Lovely day in South Canterbury today. Balak looking for the extras. Hits this one. Sweet. And we're locked up at 6 apiece here after 10 minutes of action. Round 3 of the men's premiership.
And both teams sending signs to each other that if you're going to concede errors in good field positions, we're going to make you pay. The Southland Rams, they drop the ball 30 metres away from their line for the Eels to go on and score their first points of the day.
Well, Nikola Balic played for the Southland Stags last year in rugby. He's got plenty of skill, the fullback. He just scored and converted. But this is really his debut season in the 13-man code. As I mentioned, they came up in a van, a few cars last night, stayed the night in Ashburton with a team dinner to get themselves fresh for today's game. And an exciting game. You know, they've been somewhat disappointed too with their results so far in the Premiership. For instance, we're 8-4 against Canterbury, but then just a couple of lapses and a barrage of tries, you know, really blew the score line out. So they know that they can handle themselves, and up against, I guess, competition drawn from a similar type of pool, i.e. 4 clubs. A lot of the clubs are playing their footy too through the summer months, so it doesn't clash with the rugby code. And I guess in a way the animosity that used to exist between codes is starting to dissipate now. And that's a good thing. With the 10, this is Jalisha Lofipo. Gets him into good field position as well across the top. Albert Ngoro with the Fiji players. On to Robinson. Looks for the kick. It's come off the back and into the hands of Benji McKay. 12.5 minutes gone here. First half of action, live from Thibodeau on Sky. Here's the chip over the top, positioned nicely at the back though. Is Nikola Balak.
And I like some of the stuff that Nathan Robinson, the 7 for the Aoraki Eels, the experienced campaigner,
yes,
just coming up with every little trick in the book. Another short kick-off to which the Aoraki Eels get the ball back. Trying a couple of early kicks, short kicks. Just really keeping the defence of the Southland Rams on their guard.
Well, there's no substitute for experience, and he's got plenty of it. Nate Robinson guiding the team around well, and the young guys are getting into their work with some solid defensive efforts. That's Kalapuna Taufa puts the tackle in jersey number 4. Here's the kick off the boot of Famoia Wane. Beautifully taken at the back, sent infield to Benji McKay, the skipper. He has the ball, shapes up, and then it's forced to offload out to Kellis Taylor, who has it down. He has a shot as well through the middle, and he's grasped just shy of the halfway line. Aoraki Eels and the Southland Rams going at each other here, live on Sky Sport from Thibodeau. And there's a good defensive effort from Calder White with assistance from Woodall. Entertaining footy. Both teams seem pretty evenly matched here at the moment. That's the way, a little grind forward, post-contact meters. Yeah, Adam Fanua Blake's really been the man to show the post-contact meters how valuable they can be for teams, as we see a darting run here from McNoy. Quick play the ball for him as well. He's out to Dofa, sends it through Robinson. Robinson gets it at the back to McKay. He'll put the kick over, but it's pretty easily read on the far side by Holly, who wraps it up for the Southland Rams. Will get a full set at their disposal on the far side of the field.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing end to the set for the Eels. They'd made an indentation down their right-hand side. I think Robinson was shifting it out to the left to try and have a look and see what they could come up with. But a great offload here.
Mother gets the offload. Rams with the ball. Holly is put away. There's Lego Holly. Play the ball on the far side. Quarter hour time up at the moment then. Stepping into action, the Rams. They have a big opportunity as Calder White comes in. Darting eyes, look right then left. Gets it on to Kofanunga. And the ball has been turned over. It's the Eels who slither away with Versteden.
The idea was correct. He was trying to throw a cutout pass, and if it had hit his mark, there was an open space straight in front of him. But it caught everybody off guard. They weren't ready for the trickery. And another turnover. And you can just see, with 15 minutes on the clock, fatigue is starting to set in. Both sides starting to fight for their second win. It's whoever can keep this aggression throughout this next 5 minutes can assume some real control in this game.
With the ball on the far side, wisely thinking the better of this. Ratu Aporosa Tolova, who plays the ball on the far side. Just a couple of settling runs. Oh, Robinson thinks differently, though. And the bounce is going to be important. It's taken here by Brennan Southland for the Rams. He's able to get out to his 20-metre line. But again, the experience of Robinson is shining through here with a decision to take some defensive pressure off his teammates. Putting the ball deep. Now they go into tackle mode. And the first of them made by the hooker. Gets himself around. A wayward pass. Picked up on the half volley once again from Holly. Eight short of the halfway line now. Rams in possession. They've had a little bit of trouble just busting through. They've enjoyed some success down the left edge on attack. That ball just a little higher from Fa'amoe Ioane. And he couldn't control. And so it's a turnover here. And Aoraki get the football about 8 metres inside enemy territory.
Now, I'll just go back to what I was saying before. That was just a tired error. That was a tired, laboured pass out of dummy half. And just a little lapse in concentration. And Fa'amoe Ioane just took his eye off the ball slightly, and that's all he needed to do to lose focus on it and drop it. And he puts the Eels in good position again. I'd just like to see Robinson now, after he's kicked a couple of times. The wingers and the fullback are on guard. Have a look to find those spaces by passing the ball and moving it and using the whole setup. Oh.
A turnover play on. Referee says you're okay. Way to go. Fa'amoe has the ball. He's wrapped up in the tackle of Dofa, just short of the halfway line. If you've just joined us, the action coming from Alpine Energy Stadium in Timaru. This is round 3 of the Sky Sport New Zealand Rugby League Men's Premiership. And a bit of applause as well. Were you a guy who used to clap when opposition teams made mistakes? Or did you go up and say, I'm feeling very sorry for you that occurred, Willie Poaching?
Yeah, no, I was a clapper. I'm rubbing it in.
Okay.
I was only giving back what I was taking. So people gave it to me and I was giving it back. And you do it as much to lift your team as well.
Yeah.
You're not, you're probably doing it more so for that reason than to rub it into the opposition.
How did you find the 10 minutes for such an act in the Brisbane game last week?
Disgraceful.
Never seen anything like it.
Horrible. Yeah, we're walking a really, really dangerous line when we're doing those sort of things, because there's always going to be a little bit of sledging and banter go on.
So 10 minutes for goading.
Yeah, and I thought the response was disgraceful. The headbutt.
Well, you can say what you like now. You're not playing anymore. Yeah. Hey. There we go. Somebody stole my lawnmower, he reckons.
Yeah, but they were unlucky not to get one earlier, the Eels. Thought when the ball came loose, That one, similar to the one earlier with Somani Sua, looks like he lost control to me. Referees probably evened it up.
So it's the Rams, you have it now. We're locked up at 6 apiece. Coming off quickly, though, as Nick Bellick has the football. He's wrestled to ground, almost screwed into the ground as well with the tackle technique. Up the middle come the Rams. He too spun around. That's Marmoretti with the football. He'll get to his feet quickly. It's out to White. Darts forward a couple of metres, White. Then gets the offload again. Back to the second row, Aoraki. He's dropped 21 metres out from the try line. 10 to the left-hand side of the post. There's a good opportunity now starting to surface for the Rams, but as can often be the case, just little errors coming in from time to time. And it's those errors that really make it difficult when you're up against high-quality opponents. That's not denigrating the skill set here of the Aoraki Eels, far from. But it's attention to detail that wins rugby league games.
And disappointed for Marmoretti. He's been very, very good. He's had some strong, positive involvements. And the referee somewhere there seen a knock on.
Yeah, not much in it.
There was no arguing or complaining from Moretti, so there must have been something there. And just gives possession back as Toroza goes on the run again.
This guy's been busy. I'm liking the work there of the 9 for the Southland Rams. Little feign to go to the right, and once again it's White. He's really showing his teammates the way to go in the defensive work. He's got a great attitude on show. They get up and appeal to the referee. Little dart forward again to Kirkpatrick. Whittaker Prendeville. He'll play the ball as the Aoraki Eels start to work some magic. This time replacement is on. It's Jesse McDonald from the Eels. He's in 17, Jesse, from the Timaru Outlaws. What a name for a footy club, the Timaru Outlaws, eh? I wonder if their patches have been taken off them. Man, a turnover of possession.
And I like the play. I like the tactic of the play from Nate Robinson. As we said, he's kicked early a couple of times. He's run it on last play now. He's really playing with the minds of the defenders from the Southland Rams.
Aoraki up to quickly clean up Kaya and Nicola Bellick. And they have to be on his case too. He's a fleet-footed fullback as well with the ball. Here is Holly. Evenly matched as we go through the first quarter of action here in round 3. 1 try apiece. 6 minutes. Toki, the vice-captain, scoring close to the posts, converted after a wonderful half-volley pickup. And Nicola Bellic scoring out wide for the Rams. And the 10th minute. Been scoreless now for the last 10 minutes or so, 12 perhaps. As we see the scrum to be set here. A lot to like about the attitude on show from both teams here in round 3.
And a smart kick from Fa'amoia one there. Just a fine touch. Forces the Eels to play from deep down in the field, and it gives his side just an opportunity to get their breath back, have a bit of a break, and just load themselves up when they go to defence here now.
So Aoraki with the football. Got a bit of a soft spot for the Aoraki squad. The old man growing up in Ashburton, my grandparents are buried there, so the old husband clan have a connection to Ashburton. Ashburton Barbarians, one of the 4 clubs associated with this Aoraki franchise. And of course, it's a beautiful part of our land as well, for those who haven't visited. My guest commentator today and friend, Mr. Willie Poaching, yet to go to Timaru, although you've been to Invercargill, you tell me.
Yeah, I've been as far south as Invercargill, Dunedin, not been to Timaru, and would love to get down there one day.
It's a great road trip.
I'll be using your name up, that's for sure.
Okay. Hey. It's a beautiful part of the country. Come on down for a visit. Let's kick on to the far side of the field. So, Big ups for all the connections for these both these teams. Of course, the sponsors who chime in behind them. We can't do it without their support. And like I say, there's huge numbers of kids that are playing the game. The junior space down in and around Invercargill. They run their autumn and spring camps really for the juniors, but they're getting stronger every year. The men's comps played earlier in the season, February through April, and that way avoids the clashes with rugby because some play both codes. As we see a surging run now and an inside ball which will pay dividends. Beautiful play from Southland, and into score is the halfback Sione Kauwhanonga. Beautiful lead-up work too from Mara Moretti. Once again, who we need to credit as well for try number 1 through Nikora Balak. But again, the second rower had good foresight and vision to identify where the runner will be. And in the end, able to offload it to the halfback, Kauwhanonga, who's in to score. Let's get another look at it.
You see Kauwhanonga play up the line. He just brings a runner underneath him, which holds the inside defenders. Again, he's got some great vision to see the outside defenders fly out of the line, present an opportunity to play short to that man Ritzi, who I mentioned has been very, very good for the most part in this first half. Draws the fullback inside. Kauwhanonga gets number 2 for the Southland Rams, and for the first time this afternoon, they take the lead.
There's a really good play there from Mara Moretti. That's where the guys in the engine room, second rows in particular, are at their best. Just one off the ruck. He could have steered it across to the left-hand side. Instead, he sensed that his halfback had a better run to the line and popped the ball back, which was beautifully taken there from Kauwhanonga. And Sione in to score. Yes, indeed. So the results haven't been great for Southland in the comp so far, but it's not that they lack the effort. Here's our scoreline in the first half, 12-6 from Alpine Energy Stadium here in Timaru.
And they were fortunate, the Southland Rams, for the second time this afternoon. They struggled to take one of the kicks, one of the long field kicks from the Aoraki Eels. They allowed it to bounce. They were fortunate that one of the chasers from the Eels didn't get their hands to it. It bounced into touch. But they had enough composure about themselves to set up the play. And as I said, Kauwhanonga had his fingerprints all over that try to set up the break and score it himself. And a well-deserved lead.
Robinson with the kickoff here. Far side of the field, the Rams with the football. That's a good return of the football. That's a decent 15, 20-metre run. And really shouldn't have been allowed, but for the energy and the driving commitment from the ball carrier. Coming up to kick to touch is Fa'amoewane. Jaleel. And it's got a little bit of wind behind it as well, and that's a deadly touch finder. You know, that's 4 or 5 carries of the football for his teammates as well. He didn't have a lot of room to move to work with, but certainly made it look good. Mikane Tefano, great to have you with us here. Hope you're enjoying the action. Isaac Rounds is into the mix too in 14. He's there with the football now. Rams making the changes through Nathan Anderson, their coach. A short ball, another one this time. To the 18, this is Brandon Hiko. Quick play the ball, Rams on the boil here. Looking dangerous, almost running himself into trouble. And opting to ease back. The 6, play the ball, good run. Back rower, Dominic Bradley. The Eels get him and drive him back. Good tackle in the end. I thought it was a courageous carry, but in the end, some super defence from the Aoraki Eels. They'll have to be on their game as Kauwhanonga pushes the ball wide, almost an intercept. It's been touched. The referee says it's been a knock-on from the Eels. By the looks of things, thoughts, Willie Poaching?
Well, that combination's really starting to fire between Kauwhanonga and Reti. And Robinson just gets in between them, trying to intercept, and he gets a touch to it. Unfortunate for the Eels, but the Southland Rams get a full set, 10 metres out.
And they're going to have to be on their game, the Eels, here. Defence. Scrum feed for Brendan Sutherland. And that looked as though it was a knock-on at the base of the scrum as well. And there's the high-fiving coming in from the Eels.
Yeah, Isaac Rounds just fresh on the field. Been very good out of dummy half with the few moments he's had. And just at the back of the scrum, couldn't take it cleanly. Looked like he was overthinking which way he was going to play and needed to focus on taking the ball cleanly. And they get out of jail this time, the Eels.
That one's gone back for the Eels, Sweet. It's a nice shot here, actually. There's not too many stadia you can see the sea from. But this one, Alpine Energy Stadium in Timaru, you can. Reminds me of the one in Wollongong. With the sea at the door. Another look at it, no doubt. We get a wide angle shot from the tower as we see the carry this time once again. This is Van Zyl, is it? I think, in fact, I think it might be Anam Mana in 16, come to think of it. This is Pasihala. And now the ball, Robinson. You know, you've got to take your hat off to Robinson. He just knows when to pass, when to run. Anam Mana has the football here for the Eels. Big guy. And, of course, we've got Pasihala in as well into the mix for Aoraki. Still evenly matched at 12-6 with less than 10 to play in the first half. And the Rams have the football once again.
Yeah, just a lack of communication and awareness from the Aoraki Eels. Didn't know it was last tackle, trying to run it. But they get away with one as the Rams drop the ball on first play.
And that was the fullback who's had a tight game so far. This time it's Pasihala on the boil. Was in the first every junior representative team from the Aoraki under-14s. Playing for the Country Cowboys after moving to Temuka. Formerly with the Hornby Panthers. This is Pasihala that we're talking about here with the Aoraki Eels. That's him. Mana Mana. Big unit. Needs a quick play the ball for Mana. Delivers that. Through the hands as Nate Robinson holds it up momentarily. The pass into the 4. Dofa, who's wrapped up 15 from the line. Here's a good chance starting to surface for the Eels. Been a long time between drinks as far as field position is concerned. The carry from Hulla gets them in good zone. But they'll need to do something with the football now. Robinson, cut out ball. And look at how it's popped up out of the mix. Can't deliver backwards as Kalas Taylor is wrapped up, going to ground just a few metres away from the try line. Good defence in the end from the Southland Rams. An opportunity going begging for the Eels.
Great football from both sides. The Eels using their big men, Pasihala and Mana, through the middle of the field to put some dents in the defensive line. And then they move out, last play again. It's Robinson who finds a long pass. But equally, the desperation in the defence from the Southland Rams was up to the task to keep them out.
Rams at the ball as they try and just put a little bit more energy into their run, this time through rounds, fresh legs for rounds. Aoraki goes to acting half. He's had a good game to the second row, holding up the pass. Trying to wriggle out of the tackle to his mullet. He's to his feet quickly, the Fijian. Quick play the ball. Through the hands. Thinking of the kick. Out it comes to Whaamoe Ioane. He's had a good kicking game so far today anyway. That's played backwards and should be okay as the pickup is good too for Jaden Callis Taylor. He's put away. And the tackle of rounds, 8 metres from his own line.
Yeah, you're right. The energy battle seems to be going the way of the Southland Rams. They've got a little bit more spring in their step. They've got a bit more about their carries as far as their energy with which they're carrying and the support around the ball and their willingness to play the ball quicker. And you see a lot of one-out runners here for the Eels. Very little support.
Yeah, but there's lots to like about the attitude both teams have brought to the occasion here this afternoon. As we see Aoraki still trying to get their way through. The Rams, though, benefit of a little wind behind them, though, I'd have to suggest. I'm not quite sure that 6 points is going to be enough for them on the turnaround, which is still some 6.5 minutes away. But entertaining football here. Provincial Rugby League is down home Rugby League, and I hope you're enjoying the chip over the top from Robinson. Needs the bounce. He'll play at it again, and this time the bounce favours Southland on the far side of the field. But that's an example of his experience, and that's a lost football. Referee, he's appealing for a stripped ball. as the high fives coming from the Eels. They find themselves 22 out from the try line and with a great opportunity to get across the line before the halftime break.
He's come up with some real smart plays. The elder statesman of the side, Nate Robinson again, catching them off guard with his trickery. Just too smart. And he comes up with one here, and I just feel like he's old man, the referee here. His hand was all over the ball, comes out, celebrates, and makes the referee think that it's a loose carry. They get away with one. Too smart.
Every trick in the book, Every trick in the book. Here's the Eels now. Good chance for them. Inside drop off. And with the run here, this is Torova. Was that a Fijian 90th birthday yesterday from Tina Patterson? Some will know from the Fijian community in Tamaki Makaurau. Beautiful 90-year-old queen from Lakienda in Fiji. As we see a little ball down the left-hand edge, or the left edge. 5 metres out from the try. Got to be a chance. Got to be a chance as the big boys come to town. Referee's having a look. He says, I got it, ref. And the ref said, I think you knocked it on. And big Ana Mana looks with a look of frustration, bordering on disgust. Let's have another look at it. Ana. Boom, da da boom, da da boom. Oh, what do you think there?
It looked like
On top of the boot.
on top of the boot at first, and may have rolled onto some grass, but the referee's got to go with what he's seen. And I dare say from his angle that the ball might have been still on the boot, but some great play from Mana. It looks like the big fellow was going to carry, then he comes up with a deft touch of pass. And then to go from dummy half himself, unfortunately losing the ball over the line. I think him and Pasihala could have a big say before half time.
Well, Aman is an Aoraki legend, actually. He's played for the Otala Scorpions, for Pakuranga, for Otahu here in Tamaki. And he's coached the Aoraki men, lots of their junior rep sides as well. And has been an administrator at the Cowboys and Aoraki Rugby League, South Island Scorpions. So he's a real great contributor to the 16. Would have been fitting if he'd scored a try. But he's been around enough to appeal to the referee to suggest he had. We've had other thoughts. You've touched down on the boot as the big fella gets in there again with a tackle downstairs. On the halfway mark we are. 2 tries to 1. Round 3 of the NZRL Men's Premiership live on Sky Sport. That pass is good too. Into the hands of Fa'amoi. He's still got it. Holds it up nicely. And the run down the outside from Brennan. Southland caps off a fabulous effort by the Southland Rams. He takes it around to improve the situation for his converter. And the Rams go in with try number 3.
You can put that down to Kai Nakora Balic. It was his run through the middle that really broke up the defensive line of the Eels. Gave the Southland Rams all the momentum. They keep going to the right, and when they come back to the left, a great long pass again from Kawhanonga, who finds Balic, puts his centre Fa'amoi into the hole, throws a dummy, just draws a fullback, and Southland, he gets his first for the afternoon, and they extend the lead as we go 2 minutes out from halftime.
Well, that'll go a long way towards securing the Wahaika Shield of 1908, traditionally played between these two provinces, Southland and South Canterbury, playing that early game back in the early 1900s and represented by that taonga. And I'm sure the winner will be very pleased to have it in their trophy cabinet. Great to have you with us too. Sky Sport, home of Provincial Rugby League here in New Zealand. Let's have another look how it unfolded. Nice dummy run from Maramareti. And then some excellent work here as the fleet-footed Nehemia Fa'amoi gets the ball out to Sutherland. He's around to score pretty much underneath the posts. Mihi ana kia koutou. Kia reo koutou tautoko the local competition. Whakataitai. Ngā mihi nui. And great to have you with us here on Sky Sport Alpine Energy Stadium in Timaru. 18-6 scoreline with not long to go till the half-time hooter.
I've been really impressed with Kawhanonga from the Southland Rams. Just his ability to see what the defensive line is doing across the whole line See where the spaces are, play to time. Reti's been the big recipient of all the space that he's seen. But they're really on a roll here, Southland, as they unfortunately lose the ball as it goes to Torotha.
Well, the ball back on the inside had to be given. Risk of being run out on the far side of the field. Can the Eels strike back before half time? Through the hands of McNoy, no they can't. A little bit of an error. Well, a big error. The other, it can't be little. The errors or not, I guess.
Yeah, Desmond Dillon. He's the one who's just been seen knocking the ball on, just as he gets up onto his feet to play it. You can see here, loses grip on the ball. And a great story, Desmond Dillon, a Canadian who came across to New Zealand to play rugby union, had never seen rugby league before, saw it, thought I'll try it, and has fallen in love with it. What a great story.
I don't know, we're a bit dark on Canadians today for obvious reasons, but warm welcome to you, Dylan. Hope you're enjoying the action in the 13-man code. Great to have you with us here on Sky Sport. Round 3 of the NZRL Men's Premiership. It's break time, and it's a lead here for Southland, 18 points to 6 over Aoraki. We'll take a break and come back, have a look at those first half highlights in just a moment. You're watching the action here on Sky Sport. Kia ora no, great to have you with us, and we're in Southland and Aoraki today, coming at you from Timaru, and that lovely city in South Canterbury. It's the Rams from Southland, predominantly in and around Invercargill, up against Aoraki, which features teams from Ashburton, Chertsey, also Temuka, and obviously Timaru. Great to have you with us. A 3-1 scoreline as Southland running left to right in the second 40. We mentioned at the break that it'll be important for Aoraki to start the second half solidly. And this is a good start for them as Anamana takes the ball forward. And just need to not dip their heads here. Yes, they conceded a try deep in that first half. But also they've got plenty of skill and ability themselves as the 9 comes in for his mahi. That's Caleb McNoy. Drop off on the inside. Angled run here for Pasihala. Breaks through slightly and then offloads. Tackle from behind is Ortheam with it. And they're calling for a knock on. And the referee says, listen, I'll do the refereeing. Don't be telling me what's going on. Oh, that's what I'm assuming went on. Kōrero mai, how whakaro here. Willie Poaching's with us today.
Yeah, the back end of the half. One of the highlights for the Aoraki Eels was the impact that Anamana and Pasihala had off the bench. They've carried on straight from where they left off. 2 strong carries from the big men in the middle. And Pasihala, 2 strong, trying to play the ball quickly.
You play plenty of footy too, and you know that you go into the sheds a little deflated because you've just conceded a try. But good coaches will say, hey, listen, let's start again. And if we can score early in this second half, as we did in the first, we'll get ourselves straight back into the game. It sounds like a big gap, 12 points. But if you can score close to the post and convert quickly, you're well and truly back into the game. So they send in the troops this time. 17 is Jesse McDonald, who carries the ball to just within 7 metres of the try line. Here's a good opportunity for the Eels if they can convert. Out it comes to Mana. Drop off on the inside available. Doesn't use it. The straightened run for the fullback. And captain, McKay, he has the football. 5 out from the line. Dummy half has a bit of a look going towards the line. Is the 3. Torotha. And he won't get through. Wrapped up in the tackle of Leka Holly. The Eels with the football. Can they convert? Close to the line and very nearly did as Pasihala puts the ball down. Referee says it's a knock-on from the Eels. And so a turnover, a good chance goes begging for the locals.
Yeah, it does. And I go back to what you were talking about at half-time. Ashley Jenkins, the coach for the Aoraki Eels, and what he would have been saying at half-time, I don't think he would have been disappointed with their spirit and their effort. Just some of their execution in the right parts of the field that he would have been questioning them about. He'd be trying to pump their tyres up to get them going again. They've started okay in this first half. They've lost a chance there, but they're in the right part of the field.
So they have to work hard here and maintain momentum. Of course, they've got the experience of Nate Robinson, who's been steering the ship, so to speak, with some deft little kicks, timely interjections of skill and experience. But it's very important they don't allow for these breakaway efforts as the ball comes back into the hands of Fa'amoi Ioane. He's clever as well. It's up across the halfway line as the Rams get hold of the football. Kofanonga keeps it alive. Out to Nikora Ballas. Lovely work out wide here. Fa'amoi goes around the outside. A beautiful offload back on the inside. And then getting up to his feet, Nikora Ballas, and is able to come around and seal the deal with what was a long-range class effort from the Rams.
Great football, great rugby league from the Southland Rams. Isaac Rounds gets out of dummy half and gets a real strong break down the middle. Still has presence of mind to find an offload. And after having to defend their line in the opening sequences of this second half, as soon as they get the ball into their hands, they go bang, bang. Here we go, Isaac Rounds out of dummy half. Finds his support running, Fa'amoi Ioane. He gets a quick play of the ball. And this is where I thought Kofanonga would go to the line, but he saw spaces. Just get it there early. Get it out to Fa'amoi. Nice flick inside to Southland. Sorry, to Nikora Ballas. Great presence of mind. Just get up, footwork, and take it closer to the post for his second of the afternoon.
Yeah, Nehemiah Fa'amoi really deserves the credit for that one with the skillful flick pass back on the inside. He had to be able to pass it to someone, and of course the fullback was in good position. That is duly converted. All 4 tries have been converted, and now the scoreline kicks out to 24-6. We were just touching how important it was for a good start. There's another look at the flick pass. Well, that'll go on the highlight reel for the Mokapuna, mate. And then to his feet once again, Nikora Ballas. As mentioned, played for the Southland squad last year, rugby, but a chance to fly the flag here for his teammates and for the region of Southland.
And that's been the difference for me so far in this game, is the difference in quality that Southland have. They've just got a touch more across the park as far as individuals with just a little bit of knowledge and experience up their sleeve. A lot put on Nate Robinson as far as experience for the Southland Rams. But I'm sorry for the Eels, but the Southland Rams, they've got a few more across their board.
Well, the Eels, need possession, and then need to be very careful with it. It's basic rugby league. Hold on to the ball, charge forward, get a kick deep, and a good chase and tackle. As we see a few changes coming forward here with new talent making their way onto the field with the 12 is more there once again. He's wrapped up by Desmond Dillon. Comes in off the left for Aoraki. He gets just getting a bit anxious here as Fale Osefa steps and shoulder charge.
Yeah, it looks like a shoulder charge. Pasi Hala, he's come off second best. Looked like it might have been a face charge. But the referee's saying there was no arms or no effort to wrap. Putting pressure on themselves even more so now, the Aoraki Eels.
Well, they've been competitive for periods. I mean, you haven't got a big player base to draw from. You know, it's a big ask for some of these players as Mother gets through and makes that one look super easy. He'll get to his feet again and crawl across the line almost. Pulled down at the last minute. Isaac Rounds to dummy half. Feeding out to the left. Too easy here for Maramaretti. And Southland are in to score yet again. It's coming thick and fast at the moment. Scoreline starting to balloon as the Rams continue their winning ways. And the decision to travel up from Invercargill here to Timaru yesterday, perhaps paying off. I suppose
the big physical back row was there, more there. He showed some physicality to knock defenders away, bit of footwork on that occasion. And the Aoraki Eels, you could see the defence was non-existent on their right-hand side. The Southland Rams had 4 players lined up, but it was Maramaretti, He just had to catch and fall over the line to get the Southland Rams his first for the afternoon. And as you mentioned, Dale, they've kicked all their goals so far. This is their hardest of the afternoon. But they extend their lead now 28-6.
Yeah, Martin Mareti's been very consistent. 28, well, let's make it 30 points. There's the fullback from 12 in from the far side of the field. Strikes that one. El Perfectamondo. No problem there as the flags are up. It's been a classy performance here from Southland, and really after conceding the first try, it's been something of one-way traffic. Not taking anything away from the Eels, but things have just worked out better. There's your try scorer. Martin Mareti's been one of the best for the Rams. And just acknowledging those businesses in their corner as well to get them around the country playing in the Premiership. Walker Murdoch Law in Southport, Melvin Masonry, AG Hoffman Civil, proud sponsors of the Southland Rams, and acknowledging all who come in behind these teams to ensure their viability. 30 points to 6. And now for the home team, the Eels really playing for pride, but they can't score unless they get hold of the football. And they can't afford to just wait for Southland to make a mistake. They've got to force their hand. 22 on the boil with the football here. Southland. That's no Boni Sirilele. Holding up nicely. It's important that they do develop their structure and their rhythm, the cohesion in their line, both on attack and defence here for Southland. There's plenty of football still to be played. To his feet is Iosefa. And the big number 8 on the boil this time is Simeone Katoa. He's on the halfway line, Katoa. Plays it for rounds. And the Kofanunga. Here's a threatening play once again down the left edge, and the runner on the inside is Nikora Balak. He picks up the ball nicely. The inside ball again from Fa'amoi. They haven't finished yet as Southland continue the barrage as Marta Maletti gets it out to Kofanunga. That's been touched. Kofanunga gets hold of the ball and scores again. Well, the tries are coming thick and fast for the Rams here over the last few minutes. And one of the best this afternoon, Sione Kofanunga, is rewarded with a try near the posts.
With that left edge of Kofanunga, Maramaretti, and Nicola Bellick, when he gets himself involved, just causing all sorts of havoc down the right-hand side of the Eels' defence. Nice cut-out pass. Maramaretti drawn pass out to Fa'amoi. Doesn't flick it this time. But Nicola Bellick just gets his hands on the ball. Get it back in. Bit of fortune goes the way of Kofanunga that time. But they've worked hard for it. They score again. And you just get the feeling the floodgates have opened up. Unless the Eels can show some resistance here.
Well, 6 tries to 1 now. And as you can see, kicking it a hundy. This one should be no problem whatsoever. Yeah, there'll be some disappointment for the crowd who've come along to see the Aoraki Eels, but we have to keep things in perspective too. A lot of these regions, provinces, still on learning curves. But let's see if they're able to just pick themselves up. As far as your emotions are concerned, I mean, that was almost into the hands there of the 3. But the bounce of the ball favouring the bold. And there he is, Shane Broughton. I'm sorry, that's the man on the that's the man on the sideline. And I guess not looking for your vote, which is going on all around the country at the moment. Hoardings in the background. Kia ora, good afternoon to you as well, Shane.
And you're right, Kofanunga's been very, very good for the Southland Rams and so influential. And we spoke about Nate Robinson for the Eels, his calling on all his bag of tricks. And Kofanunga that time showing he's got some tricks up his sleeve just as much.
That's Serulele. Kofanunga again. Oh, confidence is high out wide here. The centre's been deadly as in the last little while. Yeah, Maya Fa'amoi, his combination here with Nicola Balak has been superb. There's the pop through back on the inside. Oh, yeah, everyone is a wizard with the football now as Isaac Rounds gets flung to ground. 30 metres out from the try line, the Rams literally trying to ram home the advantage. And with the football inside for Fa'amoeoane. He's put away. A desperate tackle from Tuki. They're just coming in waves at the moment. Southland, there's the ball. There's another try. That's been damn good, all right. Don't worry about that. Leka Holly this time in to score. And the Rams are running hot here. And the Eels, well, want to find a cave in a river at the moment. At the moment, they're just getting sorted here by the Rams, running rampant.
There's a nice mix of power and finesse from the Southland Rams. And that left-hand side now is just, as I said, having it all their way. Kauwhanunga finds a cutout pass to Reti once again. And when they come out to the right, Kauwhanunga scored himself of his own chip kick. He sets it up for Hawley with a kick. Another kick try assist for Kauwhanunga. And Hawley gets his first try. And this is the difference. You look at how many Southland Rams players are around the ball as opposed to the opposition. Their energy is high, emotionally and physically. And just looking at the body language of the Aoraki Eels, a lot of people looking at the ground. They need to find some spark to get themselves not just back into the scoreboard of this game, but back into the rhythm.
Still kicking at 100 as well, so the scoreline is just amassing, as we can see, 42 points to 6. And still a long way to go in this one, too. Could end up with a cricket score, unless Aoraki, A, get hold of the football, and B, are able to address this rampant scoring. And everything's a winner attitude that the Rams have taken into the second 40. Remember, we went to the break at 18-6. This is 4 unanswered tries. Since then, in the last 15 minutes, a couple of replacements coming on here. And things compound, don't they, Willie?
Yeah, just things go bad to worse for the Aoraki Eels from the restart. Using a ploy that's been pretty good for them this afternoon, and that's the short kickoff, from which they've been able to regather 2 out of the 3 times they've tried it. But that time it goes out on the full, which means a penalty to the Southland Rams on the halfway line. They can kick it if they want, but they choose to tap.
Well, as mentioned, plenty of interesting players, 4 senior clubs down there in the Southland competition. They run the autumn and spring competitions. So one of those clubs is the Fiji Bati. Inquired about how come so many Fijian guys are in Invercargill. Of course, freezing works and farm work, very popular among our boys from Fiji. And with the football right now is their number 7, Sione Kauwhanunga for the Rams. Down the short side, that ball has been knocked on. It'll be a scrum to be set. And a welcome relief too for the Aoraki Eels, who can at least take a breather and get a set with ball in hand. They've been doing a lot of defence, and it's been tough on them. But credit to this young man, Kaya Nikolabalik. He's had a terrific game in jersey number 1. And others to stand out too, Marama Reti. Kauwhanunga has been really on his game. And just a few standouts here for coach Nathan Anderson. Scrum feed for the Eels. Can ill afford to lose the football. Need to use a full set with ball in hand. It's time to carry through. Is by the 4, Dofa. This is better play. And the fullback, Benji McKay, is also the captain. Weaves a bit of magic to the halfway line. Right edge play here. But if one out running, still keeping the ball alive. On once again to the prop forward, Whittaker Penderville. Kurt with the play the ball and cross to Robinson. Tap on here. Bounces up nicely for McKay back into the inside, and then he's mauled in the tackle of Muthe. In fact, I tell a lie. Silulele. And the number 6 is down. That's Aoraki, the vice captain. I'll just see what happened to him if we are able. But the
I think he just hit as he was passing the ball. I don't think it was late. And he still had the ball in hand when the defender was committed. And it came flying from the edge. It looks like it might have been Josefa. Full shoulder. And you can just see he hit him square on. There's not a lot to Tuki.
There's the medic there in the orange strips, Jaden Bowman, better known as Tiki. He's been a long-term medic for Aoraki and is also a competitive cyclist. So big ups to the medics who make their way onto the field. Aoraki with the football. Well, there we go. I mean, the basic areas are really bringing them undone here.
And it's frustrating, these ones. This will be really frustrating for Alan Jenkins. They have a break in play. They have a chance to re-energise, but a chance to really scheme and plan a play, if not plan a set. And they've come up with an error on that first play. It's just so disappointing after not having the ball for a good 13 minutes of the second half. And as soon as they get it and get a chance to put something together, they turn it over cheaply.
There's the question of the day, since as it's not Māori Language Week. What's the South Island name for Mount Cook?
You got me. Mount Cook. Maunga Cookie.
No, it's not Maunga Cookie. You can't call it Maunga Cookie. No, it's Aoraki.
Aoraki. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, there we go. So there we go.
That's my lesson for the day. Thank you very much, Dale.
No, I'll forever remember that when I asked the brother, the Māori name for Mount Cook, he says Maunga Cookie. Fair enough. Aoraki. And really, that's this is where this beautiful area is, the Aoraki catchment. Not far away to our Maunga Cookie.
And Isaac Rounds, who's been dangerous at a dummy half, causing trouble again. And too quick for the defenders. And in their effort to try and struggle and bring him down, just going too high. Just so much pressure. We'd love to see the stats and numbers of how many plays they've had down here, Southland. It's just racking up as quick as the scoreboard.
Yeah, indeed. This is Ngoro, Albert Ngoro. Left side, Maramaretti once again takes the ball very close to the line. Big scoreline already, 42-6. That's three-quarter game time gone now. Rams in possession. With it is Simeone Katoa. We can't get through. Just need to hold off his round, sends it across. Little dummy Kofonunga with it, spinning towards the line, but he's held up there. Still 5 metres away from the try line. You feel it's just a matter of time, though, for the Rams when they get this close to the line. Whakamoe Ioane gets it to the fullback. Nikola Bellick over the top with a B-ball pass, skillfully as well, picked up by Josefa. Comes back on the inside, away from one, and the tackle eventually is made. The Rams, though, would have to fancy their chances. Nice ball back. Thinking of the crossfield kick. That's what they do in the end. It's into the end goal. Everyone's climbing for the football. And well done there from DJ Dillon, who gets hold of the football.
An outstanding take. He was under a lot of pressure from Hawley, the winger for the Southland Rams. And they can take a lot of confidence from that defence. The Aoraki Eels, it wasn't perfect, but they scrambled. They still had the effort. And as they've had done for the most part of this game, it was spirited. And they came up with an answer to stop and repel another attacking raid.
There's Dillon with the football again. He's put away on the tackle of Holly. And again, their skipper is into the mix here, Nate. To his feet and out of dummy half, Georgie Powell. Robinson, couple of metres. A shunts at one, pass around the back door, cleverly done. Aoraki, inside ball, this is better from them. Back into the mix comes Callis Taylor. In fact, it's out to now Torova. Oh, it'll be so good for their spirits if they're able to crash over here. Let's see what the Eels can deliver. Through the hands. Here's the kick to the in goal. Not as skillful as was needed by the 9, McNoy. And really was easy pickings, as it turned out, for Southland for the Rams. Let's see if the green machine can muscle up and try and get a turnover.
A disappointing end to what was looking like a really good build-up from the Aoraki Eels, but the Southland Rams go on in sack.
Could do with a turnover here now. The Eels, Aoraki, inside ball. Wrapped up is Fali Yosefa. Showing down the inside. Go for Lunga. Nice play. Here's to the back rower. He's lost the football. Into the hands it comes here of McNoy.
Yeah, Bradley Clark, the 13 for the Southland Rams, looking to try and take on the opposite wing up. And Callis Taylor lost focus on the ball. Turns it over. And see if they can just complete a set here. Get to last play. Don't kick early. Chance your arm a little bit. But support each other when these chances come.
This is a lovely little run here. This is what's needed just to lift the spirits. As Kalapuli Dofa makes his way forward into the hands of Somali Sua. Bumps off one. He's the ground, 12 metres out from the try line. 42 points to 6. Have the Eels got another try in them? Here's the cutout ball to the big man. The double around, it's still gone backwards. Still alive, says the referee, as Alan Tookie gets hold of the football 10 metres out from the try line. Play number 5 here for the Eels. And another mistake. Mishap.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been a touch judge's call, because on first view it looked like the referee was happy to play on. But he's seen a knock on there somewhere, the touchy. And another opportunity to score, just goes begging. And just see they're losing their way. With 15 minutes to go, fatigue is really weighing heavily on the Eels as much as it is on the Southland Rams. As long as they keep them scoreless here, it's a good period for the Eels.
Even though the scoreline's blown out, I hope you've been enjoying the action here from Timaru. It's not often we see games staged here, televised from there, and a rugby league sense. But still proud communities here from South Canterbury and also from Southland today. Big ups to our viewers in both communities. I'm pleased to see your lads only having a go. This is no Paani Serulele. I think that might be Serulele. There's 3. Le.
Serulele.
Yeah, you've got it. Aye.
Thank you.
Mbula,
Says
mbula.
I'm just learning off you all day today.
I don't know about that, mate. Hey, it's funny, you have a decent dig at the Polynesian Fijian names and then, butcher English ones. Is it gelling or gelling? This is the age-old debate. Hang on, we'll check with our director. Excuse me, director. Gelling or gelling? Can I name the director? No, we'll keep it private. He says take your pick. But we'll have to finalise that with Anthony when we see him. Don't get it wrong.
Anthony.
Anthony. That'll do fine. So the Aoraki Eels, with it 66 minutes have gone. I know they're frustrated as well, but they're having a go. And, I take my hat off to blokes who train, turn out, even if their scoreline's not great. You could hear forward. It was the shout from the sideline. I think the referee might have agreed.
Yeah, he's responded in kind to the call, hasn't he, the referee? It looked like a great pass from where we were sitting. It looked like it was
That's Lekaholi, who was decked out there.
Yeah,
Not a bad,
you won there.
not a bad ball, though.
Oh, great ball.
Not much in it.
And Hawley found some space to throw it inside. And a couple of errors now from the Southland Rams in scoring chances. And they're just returning it back too cheaply, the Aoraki Eels.
And they have the football. Love to see them hold on to it for a full set. You know, the Kiwi ways to support the underdog, though, isn't it, Willie Poaching?
I'd love to see them score 1 or 2 before this game is out.
Now, also, I know that you're working hard in the Samoan camp for the international series coming up. Any updates there for our Sky Sport viewers today, Mr. Poaching?
Yeah, well, we've obviously got a few players
Still involved.
that are in the mix.
Yeah, sure.
That have finished their season. They're working hard to get themselves ready for that, and the other half of the guys are still involved in the NRL playoffs. We're still to finalise the squad, but we've got a list of players, and it's a list that we're all pretty happy with. And we've got a tough job to try and nail that and cut it down. There's some quality players.
It's very tough when the international fixtures come hard off the back of the NRL season for administrations, selectors, and the like.
And clubs. It's tough on clubs
It's
as
tough
well.
on clubs because, you know, you're not quite sure. You have to put question marks on a number of players. Willie Poaching's involved, of course, with the Samoan squad, part of this three-way international window.
It's going to be an exciting Pacific Championships with us, Tonga and the Kiwi. So, yeah, it'll be a great month of rugby league international football.
Yeah, looking forward to it very much. Men's and women's, of course. And the Aussies are out of the Pacific Championship for this year because they're heading to England for an Ashes series, which should be pretty exciting. It's been a long time since they've travelled there, eh, Willie? But over 10 years, I think.
It's been received really, really well. They're excited about it in the UK. I know Wembley's nearly sold out. The first test. It's been a long time since they've had an Ashes series. So, yeah, the Aussies have got a real test in front of them, going up north, playing in those conditions against a parochial, vicious side coached by Sean Wayne.
Well, traditionally, big rivals. And the Great Britain team lift themselves in those international tourney when the Aussies come to town. Traditionally been real strong as well. Good carry this time from Whaamoe. Rounds, delivers up for Kouwharenga. Inside ball and sending it forward for Albert Ngalo. The big man won't be able to be put to ground. He plays the ball standing up, 20 metres out from the try line. Here come the Rams through White, still alive, out wide. It's on to Mothe. Well, everything's on at the moment. And the tackle there from Dylan puts Hully at the touch. But looking up at the scoreboard, you can try all those trick shots that you've dreamed about as a young fella.
They've looked really dangerous in any space they've been given. The two back rowers for the Southland Rams. Mothe on the right-hand side here, and Retzi on the other side. Just too much temptation to get that flick pass out, even though it was in a tough position and went forward.
You know, what this is all about too, as we spoke at the start of our broadcast today, Willie Poaching, is building the love for the game in our tamariki and our rangatahi. And the numbers of kids who are playing in tourney, proudly wearing rugby league jerseys, is really what the future of the code looks like in these provinces, and both in the Southland province and in Vikagel. We know that there are huge numbers of kids playing the sport and loving it, and the same here with the catchment for the Aoraki Eels through South Canterbury. They too have a huge number of young people playing, and if you're going to judge the future of the game, you've got to look at those earliest interactions so that the kids and their parents enjoy the structure of the tournaments, the spirit in which the game's played, because at its best, the game is a beautifully skillful game. And I know that a lot of people have been worried about the contact aspect, but in kids' sport, we know that there's plenty to like, and there's lots to like about the way this guy has debuted really in his opening season playing rugby league. He's been really one of the top draw players today, as we see a surging effort from Faliel Sefa. I'm talking about Kaya Nikorabalik from the back in jersey number 1 for Southland. He's been involved with everything. That's him with the football. His kicking tee, I think, has been dipped in gold because he hasn't missed hardly at all today, if at all. In fact, just looking through my score sheet, I'm not sure that he has missed.
No, he's kicked every goal. He may be kicking another one soon if this attack keeps going.
Oh, here comes the big guy, and then out for a lovely finish out wide, and a deserved conclusion for Nehemia Fa'amoi with the try, perhaps this time one of the more difficult conversion attempts for the fullback, Kaya. But again, it was just a matter of too much possession, field position in their favour, and across to score again, taking it out to 46 points. Let's get another look at the run.
They tried to knock the front door down on their right-hand side, the Southland Rams. And a couple of times they went through, but it wasn't until they went out to the left. The big man, Albert Moro, loitering out on the left-hand side, out on the edge. Didn't have to use a lot of footwork, but a nice right-hand offload to his centre. Nehemia Fa'amoi, who's been destructive down that left-hand side, gets another try for the Southland Rams.
Bar the opening try to Tuki, that was in the 6th minute. The scoring sheet really has been one way here today. As we see Kaya from wide out. He's had a good game with ball in hand, chimed into the back line skillfully, and really has given a shot in the arm to the Southland Rams effort. This will be his toughest conversion attempt of the afternoon. And once again, he raises the flags. Well, I tell you what, it's banana cakes all around for that fella. Don't you worry about that. If he's coming round to your place, it'll be a boil up as well. What would you cook him?
I give him a nice roast pork.
Okay, fair enough. you're so Samoan.
No, he's outstanding with boot. And I thought for a moment they wouldn't have been too happy with Fa'amoi scoring as wide as he has done, but it doesn't bother him. He'll throw them over from everywhere.
He's going real good, isn't he, off the kicking team? Everything's coming up gold. 48 points to 6. Can they keep it from 50? I know these small milestones seem irrelevant to some, but, you know, I don't know. Obviously, they don't want to concede another try.
No, and I'll flip that because Southland will be chasing 50.
Of course they will be.
So as much as they're chasing, the Aoraki Eels have got to have their mindset to prevent that. That's their challenge now in the last 5 minutes of the game. All right, let's finish by not giving them any more. And that should have been the discussion behind the post. As much as we're behind 48-6 and we're not going to win the game, for our pride, let's hold them out for the next 5 minutes.
And here's a chance to actually score and give a little bit more respectability to the scoreline. You know, basic errors have been really the downfall here. Drop balls, poor play of the balls, poor handling. But, you know, again, we can't doubt the heart and wouldn't ever, because everyone's having a go, trying to do the best by their families, their clubs, their communities. So, you know, it's far be it for us to criticise. Let's hope here for the supporters, for the Aoraki Eels, that they're able to hold on to the ball and perhaps even get across the line themselves. And as Willie Pochings just mentioned, I'm sure that they'll be desperate to ensure that they don't concede 50 here against their rivals from the south. Again, a reminder that on the line here is the Waihaka Shield, quite obviously going to Southland. Again, and I'm sure they already hold it, 1908. The Shield first played for. As the push through, here comes Somani Sua. Just 8 metres out from the try line. Chances here for the Eels. Let's see what they can convert with. The tackle is made here on Turofa. Slow to his feet this time. They'll opt to stay down that left edge, that kick into the end goal. Somewhat ill-conceived, hadn't communicated to the outside men, and ultimately was too heavy anyway.
Yeah, George Powell trying to come up with something and just no communication or awareness from his outside backs to where the kick was going, and just because there was no chases, Southland could just watch it, just roll out into the dead ball area. Now they've got 7 tackles.
Well, the big boys lift up Calder White. He's had a superb game, Calder. That's him in the 9 jersey for Southland. He's been terrific. His distribution has been top draw, first class. And his commitment to his defensive work also worth noting here this afternoon. Tough day at the office for the home team. That's footy sometimes, though. There's the big spinning effort here of Albert Ngotto. There's to ground. Again, acknowledging the Southland businesses in their corner. Kyle Gardine with one of the Southland bench. What are you thinking? So we're talking sponsors, AG Hoffman Civil, Melvin Masonry, Southport and Walker Murdoch Law have been supportive of the Southland squad. Thanks so much for your ongoing total and support. Here come the Eels. Winding it down towards full time. We'll get some thoughts too from the winning skippers after the game. Not too far away. Aoraki Eels, are they going to get one? And then just slipping on the surface of the, so your arms go up, son. I think they're going to get there. Numbers on the far side, crashing to the line, and there's the try that has eluded them since 6 minutes into the game. They look across at the touch judge, and the touch judge has said it's okay, and the try is confirmed for Bradley Clark from the Aoraki Eels. Well, brag old Clarkie, a born and bred Southlander, first year with Aoraki, and a cousin of Brisbane Broncos and junior Kiwi Joe Clark. That's him who scores deep in the game. Let's have another look at it. Came after a good run here, and we thought, oh, Gonski's the slip. But then quick play the ball, and Brad Clark on the receiving end of the football. And they'll be pleased to have secured that try. Clark scoring in the dying moments of this one to get double figures for the home team.
Yeah, that's right. And we only spoke moments ago about preventing the Southland Rams from scoring that 50 points or breaking that 50-point barrier. And the bonus would be scoring themselves. And Bradley Clark, the 13 for the Aoraki Rams, gets over. There's a couple of special mentions. Benji Mack has been very good, been dangerous, the captain for the Aoraki Rams. He was the one that made the break. They got the momentum going for the Eels. And then Pasihala with an offload and a great conversion. They get maximum points as we start to wind down. And they haven't lost that spirit.
And there's the full-time hooter, Willie Poching. It's a big victory, but also a gutsy performance for the Rams, the Southland Rams, who win this one in Timaru. Too good today for the Aoraki Eels, and they take this one out 48-12. Well, it's been great having you with us here today. We'll get some post-match reaction in a moment. The first and last tries for the home team, Aoraki, and of course playing off for the Wahaika Shield as well. Just looking on here and seeing young people playing both codes as well by the looks of things. That is the reality here in our provinces, but our communities morph to accommodate both the 15 and 13 player codes as we see these Southland Rams coming off. Job done, well done as well. We'll get some thoughts from the captain in a moment. Let's have a look at how some of the tries unfolded here in the second half.
Yeah, they got out to a flyer, and it was Whamoe down the left-hand side for the Southland Rams, who looked dangerous right from the off. And he found Nikora Bellick for their first to take it out to 24-6.
One of the most impressive today has been Reti, and we'll get another look at him here. The second rower for Southland was really everywhere. This time perhaps the easiest try that he would have scored. But he had to be in position to take possession. And so a good one for the 11.
Yeah, as I mentioned, both back rows were dangerous. And you see him again, Retzi getting involved. Gets it out to Whamoe. Nikora Bellick, just presence of mind to get it on the bounce. Retzi finds Kofanonga. And a little bit of luck goes his way, but he works hard for it to score right next to the post.
14 minutes into the second half, and the crossfield kicked to any number of receivers. And this time around, it was Holly who was in to score. That was duly converted. In fact, the fullback for the Rams didn't miss one kick all day. He had a whale of a time. That's him with the football here. And eventually that run ends up for a try to Whaamoe on the far side of the field. The big prop takes it forward, and then an unencumbered run for the centre. That was in the 72nd minute. This was the last try of the afternoon. Little slip there for Caleb McNoy. Had a strong game too for the Aoraki squad. And then eventually the back rower, Brad Clark, was in to score. And that was duly converted for our full-time scoreline of 48-12. Job done for the Rams. And again, holding the Wahaika Shield from 1908. The Aoraki Eels obviously going into discussions here. They're realistic about their opportunities. I think we're almost ready to go down and hear some words from the Southland captain. Let's go down and hear from Jaleel Whaamoe Ioane.
Let me know when I'm good, mate. Jaleel, good result for your boys out there today, mate?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice for us to come out here and sort of get on top of a team and get the win. We had a first couple of tough games against Canterbury and Wellington, so really nice to get a result today.
So what's changed from those first two games to what you put on the field today?
I think we're probably got a wee bit more match fitness from the first two games, even though we took losses. And I think coming out here, the boys just had a wee bit more intent to sort of get shape set and get it wide.
So you're off into the bye week next. So what will you go through? What processes will you go through this week to stay sharp?
I don't think much changes, We just sort of keep the same intent as if we've got a game next week. Take the rest. We've got a few sore bodies. Nothing changes.
Okay, mate. All the best for the next couple of weeks, then, eh?
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, he had a good game, didn't he? Jaleel Whaamoe Ioane. I tell you, the coach of Southland, Nathan Anderson, will be pretty pleased with the way his boys went. And obviously getting some rust worked out. It's a compressed format for them, and so this is their third hit out. The rest next week will do them well. And an improving outfit out of Invercargill, it seems, Willie.
There would have been an era of desperation for both teams coming to this, as they were both winless, both chasing their first win, and they didn't get out to the best start, or the start that Nathan Anderson would have wanted, going behind early 6-0 to an Aoraki Eel side that were flying at the time, but their response was fantastic. They got the ball into the hands of Kofanonga, who just directed them around outstandingly well.
Tinakwe, sorry to interrupt, mate. Benji McKay's the skipper for Aoraki. Let's get some thoughts, or hear his thoughts post-game.
Benji, another tough day at the office for your lads out there today, eh?
Yeah, another tough one. I thought we were in it there for sort of that first 40 minutes, but then Southland are a quality side and just the wheels sort of come off a bit. Bit of fight there in the end, but just not good enough, eh?
Yeah, but that first half, you sort of took it to them and you really did look in the game. So what was the difference, I suppose, between the first half and the second half?
I think we prepared really well for this game during the week, so we come out strong, but I think just maybe a bit of fatigue, bit of fitness, and then they just got rolled us down the field a couple of times.
Obviously a lot of learnings each week for your boys coming out and playing this sort of quality opposition, What does it mean to be in this competition and playing at this level?
Oh, it's good for a lot of us boys are just a bunch of union boys, and we sort of just come together after the union season and try a bit of league, so it's good to be playing some quality sides.
And Wellington up next week, so, what will the focus be this week at training?
I think just starting well and then sticking to it for the whole 80 and then just trusting our defence. We know we can attack, we know we can score points when we try, but it's just our defence really.
Well, all the best for the rest of the season, mate.
Awesome, appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, good on you, Benji. And, I have to agree with what he says. During our commentary, we recognise how smaller communities have to accommodate, the involvement of their players in both codes. So, working with the rugby fraternity, the timing of their league competitions, etc., is really important. Well, in the end, it was a big scoreline, 18-6 lead for the Rams over the Aoraki squad at halftime. They converted that to a 48-12 victory, and you watched it here at Alpine Energy Stadium in Timburu and on the home of Provincial Rugby League Sky Sport. Hope you enjoyed the action.